Hello guys, welcome to IT Security Lab. And this is our weekly live stream, and today we're just going to have a lot of fun looking at a vulnerable machine that we're going to be checking out, and also looking at our security onion, which is going to be awesome for analyzing the attack that we do. So if this is your first live stream, please remember to like and subscribe. We do this every Sunday at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. So just give me one moment here. Let's let everyone know that we're live. Make sure that everything is working. One moment. Thank you. Thank you for that. Appreciate it. All right. So today's machine, I chose a difficult machine because we deserve something more difficult. So let's see how this is going to go. It's called Torment. I downloaded it from Vulnhub. This is the same series as yesterday. Last night we went through this machine called Joy. The same creators who created Joy also created Torment. And let me show you what they say about the machine before we even get started, because I think it's very interesting. Let me show you what they say here. Because it's a very nice machine for those people who are going for the OSCP. Because what I'm doing is I'm going through the machines on this list here, and these machines are supposed to help people who are going for the OSCP. And the one that we have today is from the same digital world people. It's called Torment. And here it is. And I just want us to go through this because I thought that was very interesting. It says that this is evil twin of Joy. We did Joy last night. And Joy was pretty easy. We had a good time there going through the machine. But this is designed to drive us crazy. So let's see what we have here. So I just wanted to show you that part, that it's meant to drive us crazy. You can download it from here, from Vulnhub. It's free, 100%. Then import it into your lab. And for us, we have a network that looks like this. We set it up on this channel. So if you want to set it up by yourself, follow the 12 videos that I showed people to do. And after that, we'll get our logs in Security Onion. So let's clear and look at what we have, our initial state before we start the attack. Then we can look at after the attack. So here's our alert interface over the past 2 hours. Let's make sure that this is actually correct. I want to make sure we can see the actual alerts here. Let's look at the last 2 hours. All right, so this is what it looks like. It's still seeing some scripting engine and stuff like that. Then we also have the hunt, where we'll spend some time hunting for pickups and stuff like that. Then our favorite one, Kibana, which is the interface that we spend some time tracking down our logs and making sure that we can see the attacks that we do. So that's how we have everything set up. And then right now my lab has all these events. I have 239,000 events. I want us to pay special attention to this baseline here. As you can see, our baseline is around 10,000 events at any given time. Let's see after our attack how much of this noise we generate and how many logs we get to do that. All right, so that's good. So let's get started now. Our machine is online, so let's get started with the attack because I think this is going to be fun. So coming to our VMware, we have 192.168.30.15. That's our IP address. So we're not going to waste time there. Let's go to Kali Linux. This is our attacking machine, 192.168.38.15. Just want to find out if my machine is responding or not. Then now that it's responding, let's run nmap against it. Today I'm feeling lazy. Let's run this one with -a. Usually I do minus SV minus SU, but I think I should get some results from -a today. All right. While nmap is running, let's see what works. All right, that was quick. -a was very quick. There's a question here: do we stream Saturday nights and Sunday nights? No, mostly Sunday nights. Saturday night yesterday was because I didn't get my video on time, and I wanted to attack a machine right away since I'm going for the CEH practical in a couple weeks. But Sunday night at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time, that's when we attack. So look at what we have, guys. This is awesome. So if you have not used nmap before, nmap is what you use to discover what's running on the system and how it's working. And in this case, we have a big attack surface. We've put 21 and a bunch of things here that we can see with our friend Anonymous allowed. And we're going to use Anonymous here to get in because that's what we need. Let me see. Then let's also go and check. What else do we have? We have FTP. That's good. And then we have port 22 with this SSH here and port 25. We have a big attack surface. This is not even funny. Usually when you see a lot of things, that can be daunting. And for me, it's like, whoa. We have 139 Samba. So it's pretty much the same as yesterday with Joy. With Samba, we have even more interesting. IRC is also here. You know what? Let's do the normal thing here. Let's start with FTP. Since we have anonymous login allowed, let's go there. FTP at 192.168.38.15. Let's find out what can we do. It says broken. I want to make sure that I am actually going to the right machine. Yeah. Anonymous. A no password. ls-la. Let's see everything. All right, look at that. That's interesting. Shadow.back. Is this really? Let's get shadow. Let's get these files first because these ones are interesting. Password.back. Is this really passwords backups here? Ooh, we can do that. Let's try to get another one. Shadow.back. Nope, no luck there. Let's look at the rest of the results here. See if we have anything interesting. MySQL, that might be interesting. We might have a database backup that we can open. IRC, so let's get into this one. I'm interested in this because I saw IRC is running that chat solution. So let's seed into that. Okay, what's in here? Channels, let's get channels. And let's go back one more and ls-la. Let's see. This is part of our enumeration of FTP. We're just looking at what we have and seeing if anything stands out. SMTP, Samba, these are all hidden directories, but this one is also interesting. Let me exit out of here for a second. Let's make a directory so I can have a clean slate. Make directory, and this is called Torment. Okay, now I can FTP with Anonymous because I feel like I'm downloading too many stuff here. Okay, let's get that ID under _RSA to make sure that we have it in our real folder that we just created. Then let's also go back and get cd to this folder and get the channels that we did, because I want everything in a nice folder that looks good. Let's go in there, ls, let's get channels. Okay, now if we exit, let's go and figure out what do we have in our folder. First, let's get id underscore rsa. Is this a real key? It looks like it. It looks like a normal key. We don't know a user yet on who to use that one for, so we will hold on to that. Let's see what's in the channel. Okay, so we have two channels, games and the tormented printer. That's interesting. All right, so let's go back and check our results. Since we already found channels for IRC, let's make sure that it's working and everything. All right. So it's running this service here, ngircd. What we want to do is let's enumerate this service. If you're not familiar with these IRC channels, you can open them using something like, let's close this one. Let me quit so I can show you. You can open them using something like, do I have IRC? ng, no, we don't. We need an application to open the IRC channel. And since it's open on 667, this is the default port. And let's find out what to do with it from our trusted friend, Google. What is that one? Next generation IRC daemon, okay. And here's a GitHub page for it. I'm just enumerating what I found on my target machine. Try and find out what do we have and how does it work. So here's a GitHub page where we can find out more information about this particular service that's running. We have a version, but I'm assuming we should be able to just sign in since we have channels. So that's what I'm going to do here. Let's try to sign in and making sure that we can get there. And on my Kali here, I have a tool called Hex Chat. You use this to sign into IRC channels. If you don't have it, just it's as simple as apt-get install Hex Chat. And let's add a channel here. And I've dealt with this maybe 3 times doing CTFs. First time I was very confused about how IRC works because I've never used it before. But we're adding a channel called Tormented. And then let's edit it and put our server here, which is 192.168.38.15. Okay, so if I close that, let's connect. See if we can connect right away. Oh, that didn't work. Yeah, it didn't like that. Let's try that one more time. Hex Chat. Edit. It didn't save my result here. 192.168.38.15. All right, now we should be able to. Oh, it's asking for a password. Let's see if we can sign in without it. Yeah, it wants a password. Interesting. So let's look it up. Default password for that, because we don't have it. It's saying it should be empty. Let's check again. This is the one that we have here. What is the default password? If it's not this one, Do I have a hex chat default password? Let's look at that and see. F. Okay, let's look up the hex chat one. This is part of the hacking process. You need to really think very fast. Let's see. Okay, does anyone know what the password is for this thing? Because I need to get in there. Let me know in the comments if you joined us and you're watching. Let me know what you think the password is, because I'm very curious what the password is right now. I can't seem to figure it out. We are using this version here. Let's go back here again. Maybe I'm not looking at the right documentation. Let's do that one more time. Command F. Here's the documentation. Can I see password? No. All right, now I'm getting stuck on the password for this thing. It wants a password. Oh, you didn't miss anything. We're just exploiting a machine that we are attacking right now. And I'm in an IRC process. Okay, thank you. So we are attacking this machine and we're trying to access this IRC using HexChat here. And I'm just trying to figure out, it told me that we have a wrong password. And the good thing about these live streams is that you guys get to see what we deal with when you're attacking these machines, right? Now that we don't have a password, we can't just give up. We have channels that we need to get in. And so we need to come back and figure out what is the password for this thing to make sure that it works. So let me check here, make sure that I have the right password, or how to find the password, because I need to get in there. I need to get into okay, so we should find the password. Let's go back here. I think we should find it. We should find it one more time. This is the service that we are running. So let's see. Maybe I'm not looking at it right. Command F. Oh, I see. I see. I remember this one. I don't want to brute force it because I know there's a default password for it. This service here, I think. Enter. There's a default password for it. I just need to look properly. Default password for this thing can't be that hard to find. The default is empty, so no password is required. Please note the feature is not available if using PAM. Okay. Let's hope this is the one. If not, we'll proceed with something else. Let's find. And nope. All right, no luck there. Someone says, let's just brute force it. Yeah, I don't think so. Let me see if we hear what we got. Okay. Let's do this one. It's an NGI RCD. See, that's what I'm not doing. Let's see if I have it here. No, this is the actual name, not the other one. It is the CD. Oh, BT said, yeah, I knew there's one like that. Let's see if I can find it here. Okay, we all love Debian. Let's try it. So let's disconnect that. Did you look that one up? My Google Foo is out of work today. I can't seem to look it up properly. All right, so let's do that. If we do an edit here, we all love Debian. All right, let's close that and connect. Let me copy that one. We all like Debian, not love. Okay. Hex chat. So the beauty about hacking is that it doesn't always work, and you have to be comfortable with that. If you just want things to work, this will be very, very not fun for you. You need to be very persistent. Okay, it looks like it worked. And it's saying join what channel? I don't have a channel. Do I have a channel? So let's do this and say ls cat channels. This is what we want. Let's join this. Thanks, BT. Appreciate your help looking that one up. So that's the default password for this IRC channel that we have. Okay, we want to go to that one. And we're in. So we're in a channel. And the topic for Torment Printer is if you find that the printers are not printing as they should, you can configure them and check for jammed jobs by logging in with password. Okay, so we get a password here. Passphrase. Okay, so let's copy that. Let's find out where the printers are and how they're running. Now that we know that we have printers there, let's see. So this was our service. Caps, that's our printers, I think. Yeah, this one, 631 TCP open. Let's go back and HTTP. Let's find out about these printers. Oh no, that's my password. Let me keep it here. 192.168.38.15. And we want to go to the printers place to make sure that we can see what's going on there. Let's check the port. Is it caps? 631. I think that should let us in. Let's try that. Yes, we're in. Passphrase is part of the password. Oh, okay. Interesting. All right, so we are in the caps interface here. Let's go to find jobs. And someone printers. All right, so it looks like they have a bunch of printers, Xerox printers in the office. And look at this. We get ourselves some names of people that we should know about. Albert and everybody else here. So this could be our usernames. Let's go back here and create a usernames list. VI users. It's ugly. Okay. That is really ugly. Can I clean this one up? Let me see if I can clean it here. Pet users. I'm going to try to do some magic. If it doesn't work, if my bash doesn't work here, we'll see what we can do. I have a quick awk here that I can use. Let me try that. I'm going to try to see if I can that, and let's see. Is this going to work? If it doesn't work, I'm going to do it only once. Yes. Don't ask me what I did. But this is what you can use for bash, with bash scripting. We're pretty much removing personal printer, and now we have a clean list here with also the spaces. So you see we have our users. Patrick is a user of interest because we used this one for the previous machine. So Patrick stands out. Yeah, Patrick stands out. So if you're curious about the password, it's right here. I read this note here in the IRC channel, and that's where it led me. Okay, let's keep in mind we also found this ID IRSA. We have a bunch of users. Because I did the other machine by the same user, I'm going to go for Patrick here. SSH. No, before I do SSH here, I need to do some magic. I need to make sure that this key is right, is correct. It looks good to me. So SSH, I need to do a cat chmod 600 to give it my permissions, so I can use it for SSHing. SSH -I for the key ID underscore IRSA is Patrick. I'm using Patrick because we used Patrick last time, 192.168.38.15. All right, so now, moment of truth. Is this ID IRSA going to work? First, we have a problem. Load pub key ID IRSA invalid format. What are you talking about? This machine is supposed to frustrate us. All right, so what about this format is not right? I downloaded this key from the server itself, so what are they talking about? All right, let's take a look at this key first of all. I'm looking for any spaces that shouldn't be there. I think the key works. Let's try it. Invalid format. That is not going to help us. And it's asking for a passphrase. We only know one passphrase here. We know this one. But it's not going to work because it's complaining about the format. So we might have to mess with that key. Paste clipboard. No. So how are we going to do this? I'm just trying to see, how do I validate that this key is right? It's not liking it for the format. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. I have a perfectly nice key here. Otherwise, we are stuck here for a long time because I need to figure out why it's talking about the format. This is here because it is encrypted. Yeah, it is encrypted. So what are you talking about? I didn't try this before, so we're in this together. We're a team now. I need your help. You know what I can do? I'm going to recreate that file again. New tab. Then I'm going to put it from here, just in case there's some formatting that didn't work from the key that I copied. It should work. That looks like a really good one. Yeah, I can try the other users, but this is telling me that the key is in the wrong format. So let's try from here, maybe. Let's try that. Yes. Oh. Okay, then I need to do this. Remove that and leave it as RSA. Load public key, invalid format. Let's look it up. What am I missing? My trusted friend Google, what am I missing from a public key? Because I'm not the only one. This person had the same problem. Oh, really? Your OpenSSL version refuses to load the key. It accidentally enables. Oh, okay. I don't have a problem with that. So, just in case, this is just my Kali Linux. Let's do it this way. Let's do it from here. Let's insert and paste. There is our nice looking key. Mode 600. RSA. SSH -I. RSA is Patrick on 192.168.38.15. If it works here, then I know that my Kali Linux is a different version. Okay, let's do it this way. It just doesn't like what I have here. All right, now let's try it again. Yes. All right, so it looks like my version of Kali doesn't like it, but it's working on my Mac, so I know that I have a right key. Let's use our password and see if it works. Again, this is what being an attacker looks like. It's not straightforward. It's not some, hey, bam, 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 and we got what we need. You need to be able to think and think fast. And that's why practice makes perfect, right? Like I knew that that should work. So I can say paste here. My problem now is if my key is saying enter the passphrase for key RSA. Oh, is this not the passphrase that I found in here? Oh, someone had said passphrase is part of the password. I wasn't listening. It's the whole thing from here. Hey, let me copy. Command copy. So this is our passphrase. Let's remove this. I want to make sure it's clean. Most machines, chef, super. Is it the whole thing without passphrase or with passphrase? We'll find out. Let's paste and enter. Oh, we are in trouble. We are in deep trouble, guys. We are in a lot of trouble. We might have to do some things here, make our lives easier. So here's the deal. Here is where we are with our attack. For those who joined later, we have a machine that we are attacking. We found a password here, passphrase here, right? I try to SSH into that machine from here. Look what happens. It tells me that my key is invalid. This is a newer version of Kali Linux. And I was like, I know that this key looks good because I've worked with keys before. So I went to my Mac as a proof of concept and I'm in as Patrick. Problem is, my SSH is from here. If I need to move to do anything else, I hope that I will be able to move my tools from Kali, from my machine, but I'm able to SSH from my Mac right now. So that's going to be interesting. Since we're already in here, I will either need to fix my Kali Linux to make sure that it works with this SSL or not. And I got this idea from Google. These people were talking about the version that was used to create it and stuff like that. The OpenSSL version refuses to load. So I know that it's my Kali Linux OpenSSL because my Mac works. So we're shifting gears. We're going to go to the Mac. We're in as a user here. What? We're in as Patrick. So that's really good. Since we're in as Patrick, let's see what we can do here. Sudo -L. Can Patrick do some stuff? Because we do this all the time, right? Yes. Now we're interested. Now we are at an interesting thing. No password. Without a password, we can reboot the system. We can stop the system. Oh no, we can power off, reboot, and stop. Ah, come on. I'm gonna need more than this to escalate my privileges from Patrick. I was expecting this to be more interesting. However, because of this, I'm in deep trouble, guys. This is where I will bring my lean enum to make sure that I run my script here. But I need to figure out. You're asking, is it because of VirtualBox? I actually am not sure why it's not loading from my Kali Linux with SSH, but it's loading from my Mac. So this is exciting. We'll figure it out. You joined the live stream here. All right, so this is good. And I think the reason why this is good is because whatever we find that we can use to escalate our privileges, and if it requires us to reboot, the better. So we're going to need more than this here. But the good thing for us is that I don't need to be in my Kali Linux to do this. I'm going to use this shell here and transfer my tools from my Kali. So this way we know that we are in that machine. So let's get some privilege escalation going here. And to do that, I have my cheat sheet here, privilege escalation. And I didn't put much here. Okay. But I thought I had a bunch of things here. I'll show you what I use for privilege escalation in here. I usually just look it up and say, hey, privilege escalation. Let's put enum for lean enum in here and let it automate for us, because I cannot seem to shadow. I cannot seem to see anything of interest. No, that's not the location. I cannot seem to see anything of interest. Oh, thank you. Sammy says, page OpenSSL in Kali if I want to use it. Yeah, I'll probably would do that. If I get stuck from here, I'll probably do that. All right, let's do what someone on Facebook, when I was doing a live stream there, told me last time. They said we should find some files with certain permissions. So let's run their command here. I'm not going to bring any special tools here. So we're going to find files. Literally, we're going to find anything from this location with names, any names. This is a wildcard conf, and type for file. And let's see what we have for files. And the reason why we're doing this is so that we can see what kind of configuration files do we have. And usually people, you see very interesting things in configuration files, including passwords like we did last time in the other things. So we have sensor3.conf, logrotate.conf. This is not fun. And as you can see, we have a lot of configuration files here. I'm going to see what we can use here. Anything interesting? Wait a second. We haven't even looked at another service that's running, the Apache service. We haven't even looked at port 80 that's running on this machine. That's how in the weeds we are. Which one should we look at first here? RSys log, that's just for logs. That's not even interesting. It's logrotate.conf. That's just a logrotate file. That's not of any interest. Let's. Someone says maybe you need a better key. I don't think so. Let's start from the beginning instead of. Oh, adduser.conf. Oh, where are you finding that one? Oh, this one. I was going to go for Apache. Let's see. Let's clear this. We have a nice we have a nice terminal, by the way. It's a nice terminal. So let's get that. We're just looking for anything. Do we have a password in here? Oh, that's interesting. We can add users in this file. So we have the ability to reboot the machine. We can add a user in here. And we can also add groups, it looks like. Okay, so now we need to start thinking. If we can add users and add groups, what can we do with this specific type? Let's do this. Clear. What can we do with that add user? Let me go back here again. Do I have Apache here as well? I want to make sure that I'm not missing anything before I go this route here. When you said I copied incorrectly, you mean the SSH key? Because if it's the SSH key, I just copied it from the location. All right, so let's figure out how we can escalate our privileges here. And to do that, you know what? I'm just going to get my Lin and Numi in here to get things going for us. And I'll show you what I normally do. I'll just show you where things are. And you can find it here. Lin and Num. Let's see what it does. Okay, let's find it. Let's find it if we have it here. I find it suspect that I don't have it already local on this Kali Linux. Isn't that interesting? Okay, So let's go ahead and copy it from here and get it to our victim machine and get going. Torment, git clone. This way I don't have too much noise in my system. Bam, 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 bam. Let's in here. What I want is this show command here. So let's start our Python script. SSH to transfer this file, and I have a file transfer here, and this is what I want to use. But as you can see, I have everything sort of listed here. If I were in Windows, this is what I'll be doing. This time I just want to use this one. Let's go back and start our HTTP server 8080, just in case. All right, now let's transfer that to our machine, to our victim machine, and we use wget http 192.168.38. My Kali Linux is on 133 8080, and we want this file. But before I do that, let me hold my horses here. I don't know if I can write here. What I normally do is, let's go to TMP. Do we have stuff here? All right, now let's do it in here. All right, now we have our Linux. Let's have it do our work for us. So this is going to do all the enumeration for us. Okay. Can I do that? All right. You just needed it to be executable. So we're now doing our privilege escalation to see if it works. And this is going to show us everything that we need to see that we can do, files that we can write to, what is running there, what are the permissions and everything. And this is going to be automated enumeration for our system to make sure that everything works. So that's what we're going to be doing here. It seems like it's still going. So if you wanted to do privilege escalation, send Linux to the temp folder like I did and give it executable permissions. So our scan is complete. Obviously, we already know about these files. Let's keep looking here. And here is what that wildcard that I did also finds for us. But let's see. We already know about this list from that command that we did. So that is nothing of interest. We have this add user file that we need to keep in mind. But before I do anything, let's keep scrolling up here and see what else we have. What do we have that might be of interest? Can we read and write files? It's the password. Yeah, the permissions. As you can see, we are not really getting any luck here. Let's look and see if is anything of interesting. Pseudo versions, MySQL. So this does most of the heavy lifting for us, which is awesome. All right. I think from what we see here, with our ability to write, we need to add a user here and get ourselves a reverse shell. I think that's what we might have to do here. Network.conf permissions. Somebody says, try adding a user and escalate from there. Yeah, I'm leaning towards that path right now, because I'm not seeing anything of interest that might actually get us. I'm looking for any like interesting services. This takes a long time, by the way. People need to be very patient. And here, if you're on a Windows machine or other machines, you're looking for anything that's listening on local, like this. You might want to do a port forward to access whatever service this is. So that's part of what we're doing here. So since Summit suggested this, maybe this is the fastest way to get there. Let's do it that way. Make sure that we can add our user. Let me clear. I think we found it from here. So let's add a user there. Where do we add a user? Let's see. Sig mode. Allocate user groups, first, last, grid. Let me see if I can go back to my results. Don't I have an Apache? I was looking for an Apache directory from my Nmap results here on port 80. That looks to me, yeah, this one. Let's check for that one. Let's clear that. Let's to Apache. Let's go to the Apache location. This is the location I'm looking for. All right, so we do have an Apache folder. Why wasn't it showing in my list of the ones that I was searching for? All right. This one. Oh, that's just what it has. All right. Interesting. All right, guys. So that's part of the privilege escalation. Let's go and now get our root user. I just wanted to show you how not so straightforward these things look like. Not everybody just goes in here and gets root. If somebody does it in 20 minutes, it's not like that. you need to actually spend some time finding more things that you can actually exploit. So let's go and add our user in this Apache file. And then I think I need to edit somewhere. I was looking here. This is going to be an Apache user and group right here. So let's insert. And what is the format? Insert. Oh, it's not that stable. Let's try it again. I might have to use nano if this doesn't work. All right. Or you can search. Can I do an I for insert? All right, let's add a user. And what is the name of the user that we can use? Does it matter or does it not? Depending on the users that we found. Let's go back to our results here. Make sure that we pick one user that's useful. Because if we use our own, that may not work. I think this one, that's what I've seen. Or this one. QIU. This messes with my brain. QIU. And let's use a group of QIU. Or I think we should be able to just put any group here. Oh, I did it again. I don't think I can delete here. So let's quit here and do it again. This time in a clean way. All right. Why can't I delete in here? It seems like if I make a mistake, it won't let me. All right, insert QIU. Oh my God. Escape. Quit that. I need to slow down to make sure that I don't make mistakes. We are adding a user here. Okay, my terminal is not that stable. Insert. Okay, this is going to drive everybody crazy now. Let's see if I can delete in here. No. Final time. Final chance, guys. So if any of you are thinking of live streaming yourself hacking, this is what happens. You need to be comfortable with this. Otherwise, things don't work. So let's add our user here. All right, and then group. Yeah, Nano. I'm one of those people who refuses to use Nano unless or otherwise. All right. And we have our user, QIU. QIU, that's good. So if I do ls, that file, make sure it is in there, even though I just saw that it's in there. We should be able to see our user added to the file right here. Right, so now that we have a user, this is a privilege escalation method that we use when we have the ability to reboot a box, like what we do have here, where with Apache we can modify that configuration file. Then we can add a user, which we just did. Then from there, let's get ourselves a shell that we can push to that location as well. And in this case, I think I already have some shells that I've used before previously. So let's see. I should have something called shell here. Really? I don't have shell. I've done, okay. Here's the default PHP reverse shell. And I've done some stuff with it for sure. Okay. Let's cat shell.php. It's just a variation of this with my stuff in it. I'm assuming, because I've done that before. If you do this several times, you should by now have a variation of it. And it looks like I didn't even change it. So let's make some changes to this and push it over. vi shell.php. This is the pentest monkey reverse shell, very common. By now, you should have used it at one point or another. But if you haven't, this is what we need to change here. IP. Let's put the IP address of our Kali Linux here. 192.168.38.133. The port for 888, I can leave that one like that. I think that will work. So we're going to get this reverse shell to our victim machine. And once we get it to our victim machine, we'll reboot the machine. And hopefully, this shell would phone home. So what we are going to need is a netcat listener on port 888. Then hopefully this will phone home. Let's save that. and it's called shell.php. And we can also get it on our victim machine the same way. For those of us who use Nano, you can also use Nano to edit it. But just to make sure that I'm doing full, if you go to say Pentest Monkey, I think VS Shell, that's what I'm using. So for those who are brand new, go to this. It's blocked by my firewall. My next gen firewall won't let me go to Pentest Monkey. But trust me, this is a legitimate site. My next gen firewall thinks that this is an enterprise environment, so it won't let me go there. So that's what I'm using here for that reverse shell PHP. Then from there, let's just get it to my machine. And let's see. Here it is. I need to go to CD for my since I have edit permissions for my Apache server. I just need to go to this /cd/www. Let me locate cd/var/www, then /html. I'll let you know why I'm in here. This is the, oh, what is secret? Oh, come on. I was getting excited that I've noticed a secret. Does pain come before sufferance or sufferance before pain? It looks like they were expecting us to be here, so that's good. We're just getting trolled. Okay, so with the reverse PHP that we from Pentest Monkey that we have, I just need to make sure that I put that one in here. Then it will launch as a web page, and that's how you use Pentest Monkey PHP. So if you have access to this location here, and if you can write into it, you need to make sure that you get it in here. So what I just need here to do here is a wget, which I already have. I think I thought it was not that far. Anyway, it's not worth it. I will do a wget http 192.168.38.133. I'm getting it from my Kali, and I'm going to use port 8000 this time. And I'm going to say show.php. And by the way, this should be logged by our security onion if it works. So all I need to do now is go to my Kali Linux, host my web server on port 8000 where this shell script is located, and everything should work. So I've done this several times, as you can see. It's my go-to. And because I'm lazy, I have history here. All right, so my shell.php is in this location. I'm launching my Python server here. And this transfer that I'm about to do here should also be logged by Security Onion intrusion detection system. So now let's see. All right, yes, we did. We succeeded. So ls cat. This name could be anything. It doesn't matter. All right, let's make sure that it's phoning home like we told it to. It's phoning home. Oh, okay. Yeah, it's phoning to my Kali Linux on port 8088. So let's go to Kali and fix that. Let's start a listener. That's what I... netcat minus lvnp. We're listening on port 8088. So you're learning something now. All right, so all we need to do, remember we added a user that we found to our system, and we also we also now added a Apache server. So for now, let's go ahead and reboot the machine, and then hopefully it will phone back here once we visit the web page, and that's what we're going to do here. So let's go back here. Sudo su No, it's sudo -L. So now I should be able to do this. The reason why we're rebooting is so that when we reboot, it will come back and take our changes that we made. So that's why we're doing that right now. So we close the session. We give it a minute here to reboot. And then once it reboots, we would like to go and visit our web page on port 80. HTTP 192.168.38. We're going to 11 today. We're going to 15. And this time we have a show.php. That's what we want to access, because that's what we put there. But let's give it a minute here. And while it's rebooting, I'm just curious how many people we have here. I haven't been paying attention. This is in a way fun and nerve-wracking at the same time. I have to admit, it's it's fun to get it done, and the more machines you do, the more comfortable you become. But at the same time, I think it's also interesting to see. So I'm just letting it reboot for right now, and let's hope it comes back up. All right, I think that's enough time for us to wait for it to come back up. So here's what we're expecting. I'm listening here. The moment I visit my reverse shell, PHP reverse shell, I should get a shell here, if that's true. Moment of truth. If it doesn't work, we need to go find out why. That looks good. You want it to hang like this. You want to see nothing. That's a good sign. And bam, we're in, guys. Who are we in as? And I hate this. First thing, before I even do anything, I am not a big fan of that. I like to fix it right away with Python, simple HTTP. So now that we got our shell back in Kali here, let's paste it here. Okay, we got back a reverse shell as our user, like we did. So thanks to whoever asked me to add the user and to get a reverse shell. Here we are, we got a user, and here let's do an ls and see where it landed us. All right. So now that we're in as our user, oh, hello, thanks for joining us. We're in as this user here. Let's do it again. Sudo -L. What can you give us? Oh, now we have interesting stuff. We have been Python. This is a dead giveaway. If you see Python running with sudo, this is what we do to get root. This is the easiest root we can ever get. We'll do it again. Bam. Now we are root. Let's find the flag. Okay, proof.txt, but what is this? Okay. This is the first box written by this author. Unlike the first three, this had no mercy. You know, I was about to swear. No way, right? We appreciate the puzzle. Yes, we do. I think you guys also appreciate the puzzle, right? So let's cat proof.txt. Okay, congratulations on reading Torment. I hope this box has been fun for you as it hasn't been for me. Until then, try harder. Well, thank you very much for those who stuck around with me as we were getting stuck with this box. It was not an easy box, and it took some guts from my side to think that I can attempt it on the first try. And as you guys saw, I did not practice this box at all. So I thank you for all the nudges and all your help. That was amazing, guys. To me, I think that was amazing. So we got root here, and I'm kind of sick of seeing these pseudo permissions, honestly. I want something better, but So far, this is what we have. I'm assuming this must be part of the OSCP. There must be a box or two on the OSCP where you get root this way, because all the boxes that they suggest for the OSCP, I swear, I do sudo -L. You always see something here, and you always. Yesterday with Joy, we also had sudo something. So I don't know. This might be a hint for the OSCP for me, but these misconfigured sudo permissions are beginning to be a nuisance for me. I want something different. But anyway, enough of the complaining. Let's go to here, to our alerts. We didn't do much today to trigger a lot of things, but we did transfer files using wget in plain text with HTTP, so we should be able to see them here. We also did cause some trouble with nmap a little bit here. We didn't run any. Oh, that's interesting. Look at that. We caught IRC. I didn't think Suricata would be catching that, but Suricata did catch it, and it's a low command, so that's nothing of interest there. Let's go to Kibana and find out what we have from the same stuff, and maybe there'll be something of interest to see. What I want to see is our well, actually, I'll ask you guys, which one do you want us to pursue? I'm assuming the reverse shell that we transferred should have been caught by Suricata. If someone is transferring reverse shells on your network in plain text, it should be easy to catch it, right? Okay, someone says, how is the CH going? I'm starting live classes tomorrow at 9 a.m. for the CH. So tonight, before this, I was just in the labs. They have live labs. I was getting ready. They also signed me up for interesting stuff. Something like this. This is part of my class. I was doing phishing campaigns today. I sent a phishing email to my wife from this. So yeah, it's going to be fun. Let's hope it works. So in Kibana here, let me know if there's a specific log you want us to track, but whatever we did in this lab, we tracked. So we can see in our alerts here what we were doing. So we created a lot of noise. So if anyone is interested in the blue side of this, let me know which alert you are interested in. Otherwise, let's change this to the last 1 hour. Someone says the reverse shell that we transferred. All right, I'm just changing this to be from the last hour. And as you can see, here is all the noise that we generated. This is probably the nmap that we did right as we started. Then after that, this is probably when we did some transfers. We didn't generate a lot of noise today. So because of that, let's check out the reverse shell that you're talking about. First, let's check, did this one catch anything to do with potential SSH scan? That's okay. FTP was caught here. Let's sort this by severity, and hopefully it was a high. Huh. Interesting. Let's do an IPA here. Oh no. I don't like this. There's a bunch of Docker stuff. So it's 38.14. Let's check. No, not 38.14. Let's check what we transferred to that machine. So source IP was our Kali and alert. Let's see. All right, yeah, we always want to check this blue team stuff. I don't know, guys. I can't seem to see. Oh, there's 2 pages. I spoke too early. IRC was caught here, so this is what we caught from our Kali Linux. Oh, this is interesting. Let's go to page 2. Ooh. Okay. So I'm finding it difficult that we didn't catch that, because if we didn't, there's a huge visibility gap. Someone was transferring some files here. Okay, what is this? Let's check that one. Potential bad traffic. Okay, so that's just the internet. Let's check the other one and make sure that we see stuff. So here you need to know what you want to look for, and in this case, I'm just guessing source and destination. This is our victim machine, and this is the final part. And oh yeah, look at that. That's the port that we fired with HTTP. That's my port for Simple Python HTTP. So maybe we found it. Maybe we did. We need to streamline this so that it looks good, right? All right. So yes, this is it right here. But we found a different one. This is when we executed remote shell. So if an attacker opened that web shell part, this is when we executed and we got remote shell, and it even did the ls for me. So yeah, we found one where we executed remote shell when you open the browser. That's one of them. Oh yeah, sorry. All right, so now that we can see this is one of them. And this, I think, is very exciting. We just did a race shell here, and it caught this way. Let's look for another one. I'm finding it hard to believe that we cannot find a different one here. Let's go back and find a different one. So let's find one from 133. And the reason why I'm saying source is 133 is because that's where we transferred things from. And we can even let's remove the destination. We should be able to see it very quickly. Yeah, that was our reverse shell. I want to see it. I want to see when we transferred it. That was when we executed it. I wanted to see when we transferred it, but I can't seem to see it. All right. At least we saw the reverse shell that we executed, so that's good. If you wanted to filter traffic, let me close this and add that one up there. I'm just filtering more traffic so that we can see all the noise that we generated here. All right, so here's more stuff. We are tired of Nmap. We might find something of interest here. There's 2 pages. Oh, interesting. These are all from Nmap default scripts here, so they're not useful for us. Let's go back here, and maybe for the first time in our live streams, let's check this one for SMB. We did it, it's showing us 6 times. So instead of opening a new one, let me just filter by that value. It's going to show us only the results from that. Let's look at what does it look like when we access those shares the way we did. All right, so it's source 6, and it's source and destination the same, 192.168.133 and 15. So we see that on port 445. Remember how we were accessing it? What did this thing see from us? I've never looked at this, so this is interesting for me as well. Oh, there we go. I'm always looking for this network.data decoded. It shows me in plain text what happened. And in this case, it's showing us that we accessed from here. So what does this mean for us if we're not, say, working in a security operations center? This will be something that was worth taking a screenshot to say, yep, someone was accessing This network share is according to this data, and you can confirm that this is the timestamp, which is very important. And here is the destination IP address of where they were accessing, and here is the source IP address, and it's a positive find for security analyst folks. And here is the rule that fired if you wanted to go and look at the rule, or you can read it from here. And what it's pretty much looking for is the alert TCP, anything that's coming on port 445. If the flow is established and they're looking for this content here, and this distance. So this is interesting stuff. All right. I think we're having so much fun, guys. So thank you for joining me. I just want to take some time to answer any questions that people might have. If there's something that I missed, something that you guys want to see from what we did, let me know. Otherwise, if you want to do this attack, you can watch the video again and see what we did. I also encourage you to set up your own lab. Pick these machines from this list here. I'll paste this document in our chat. That's the list of machines that are for the OSCP that most people should, that they say people should. And I'm surprised the ones that I'm doing today is not here. It's also one of the machines that's highly encouraged. I've done most of these machines, especially these Qioptrics. I think I did Qioptrics 1 and 2 on this channel, but I completed the other ones by myself. And so far, we've done a lot of them. If you want to keep seeing some of these, let me know. And also like and subscribe to my channel. Every Sunday, we will do one of these. And the goal is, if we do these over and over and over again, there's only one thing that's going to happen. We're going to get better. That's the goal. Is if we keep attacking, if we keep finding more about these attacks, there's only one way this is going to go. If you keep watching my channel, trust me, you're going to notice a huge difference in my skill level from today to next year by this time, because I mean, we do this all the time. Jennifer Blake, you're still working on your lab. Okay, that's good. Did you get your server? I'm just curious if you got your server or not. Or switch. So let me say where you focus your career towards. I work on the blue team right now in the security monitoring as a security engineer. And I'm more interested in the red team stuff. So that's why I'm sharpening my hacking skills. As you can tell, I'm not a hacker. I spend most of my time on the defense side. That's why it's super easy for me to spin a lab and just detect things, because I know how the detection part of things work. The attack part, I've been doing it for a while now. So that's good. Windows 7 is a really good one. If you find Service Pack 1 for Windows 7, install that one. There's a bunch of vulnerabilities that you can test on Windows 7. I have that one in my lab. Can you have a LAN and WAN network on your VM using a Wi-Fi network? I'm not sure if I'm following what you're saying, but this is what I have right here. This is a simple lab that you can set up. I'm not even running this. This one here has a pfSense, but you can just set this one up with 2 network adapters, LAN and WAN. And this is the Kali that I'm using. And this is connected to my Wi-Fi, which is connected to my lab. My lab has its own Wi-Fi. Let's see. Yeah, to make things easy for you, use one machine and just use VirtualBox and do the networking in VirtualBox. I'm not sure how stable your lab is going to be with Security Onion in VirtualBox. That one is bound to frustrate you, to be honest. It's extremely unstable. You might power on your security onion today and it will work fine. You power it on tomorrow, it doesn't work. That's the nature of VirtualBox, especially if you don't have enough resources. That's why I highly encourage people to just put a server. If you want to deal with this much data, especially when we're talking about 300,000 events that are being generated, just get a cheap server if you can afford that one. But if you're going to do it in a laptop, just know that you're going to have limitations, especially Security Onion requires 12 gigs of RAM right off the bat. So that's going to really tax your machine, the fan, it's going to be slow. So if you're super serious and you just want to go all the way in, get a server for $90 or something off Facebook Marketplace or something, any server that supports VMware or Proxmox or something sort of enterprise grade that has enough resources for you. Let me see. And you run your other VMs through pfSense line to create segment network. Oh no! If you're asking me, no. For me, my network is a full-blown network. This is a server that's running in VMware ESXi. It's connected to a real switch. It's connected to a router somewhere, and I also have a real router, which is running on OpenSense. Everything that I'm running here is literally enterprise grade, small business type of stuff. So here is a router that I'm running. It's in OpenSense for the lab. This is running on a, what is that? On a physical hardware. I made a video about it. Check out my latest video on my channel where I talk about how to install this on physical hardware. It's also, this is a next gen firewall, and it has really, really cool things like reports here that get to tell me what I'm doing. And I think it's really cool for anyone. So everything that I'm doing here is 100%, it's not in VirtualBox. And here's the switch. Do I have a network diagram for the lab? I have a very terrible network diagram. If that helps. This is it. I mean, I think it works. Here's the thing that you need to understand about this network diagram. What I'm calling internet here, this is really my home network. So I might as well change this one to be. So I have my home router, which is servicing my home. I created a VLAN over here on it and put that one on the DMZ for it. Then connected that to another router, which is my OpenSense router. And this router now is what services this whole lab. And I have an access point. The access point is actually what I'm connected to. And this switch here and this Dell server. And everything is running in here like this. So that's our network diagram for that. I hope it's clear enough. And this firewall that we're talking about is what this thing is. I'm telling you, this is like the best thing ever. If you want a serious lab that is super fun, set up a real firewall and really go and create some rules. On this firewall, I created some rules. No traffic leaves my firewall to go to my home. I'm doing packet filtering there. I can go and tell what left and what came in and all that stuff. Is super fun. That way, I'm not just assuming, I know, because I can tell. Okay. Yeah, I mean, you're saying you have to spend money to get a basic lab. To be honest with you, I don't know if you have a decent laptop or a decent computer, it will work. This lab is overkill for most people. I have to admit, this is not a lab that everyone should have. If your goal is to just go for the basic attack and maybe detect without Without Security Onion, this is a good lab. This right here, without Security Onion, without pfSense, just Kali Linux and a machine. That's all you need to learn how to be an attacker, really. Security Onion just requires 12 gigs of RAM and a decent CPU. That's the only problem here. Because of the amount of resources Security Onion needs, I don't encourage you to run it on a machine that doesn't have 16 gigs of RAM. It will frustrate you. It's not worth your time. You'll be frustrated and you think that it's hard to learn. I've done it and it's not fun. That's why I just opt for a server, because the last thing I want to do is be frustrated with the lab. I'm already getting stressed out by the machine that I'm attacking already. So the lab being finicky is the last thing I want to see. That's why maybe spending a little bit of money. And I will tell you this. When I was at Help Desk making $38,000 in the United States in Minnesota, it was so hard. I saved $300. It was a lot of money for me. And I bought a server. And that server has been there for me since the beginning. And I'm so glad that I did. I don't think it's a waste of your money. And also be resourceful, right? Go on Facebook Marketplace, on eBay. Look for the cheapest one you can find with at least, you can get 36 gigs of RAM for under $200, 12 cores and something like that. That's my suggestion, because I think that anyone who embarks on this journey needs to be serious. And if you can, if it allows you, do it. It's worth it. So this lab is in your DMZ. Yes, so the way you set this lab to make sure that it's secure from your home network is you get your ISP will give you, where's my network diagram? Your ISP gives you that modem. You connect your router for home. On this router, if this is your main router for your home, let's do it this way. Assuming this is your home router, you want to create a whole separate network on this one. So a whole different local area network that you then connect to this one. And the way you connect it, it will be, say, 192.168.10.10, right? 10 network. Then this one also will have its own network. This way, this network that you create here does not communicate with the other one that goes to your home. That's the best way to do that. It doesn't go to your home at all. That traffic never mixes. The traffic that comes from this lab goes through the home network straight to the internet. The traffic that comes from your house goes from your house on a different network straight to the internet. And to make it more interesting, connect this firewall using VPN to a box in Azure. Then you have a tunnel from this firewall here using OpenVPN straight to Azure. That way, that traffic, your default gateway, as far as everything that's in this network is concerned, is seeing the public IP of the Azure box. And that Azure box or Amazon box, you can kill them at any time, or you can refresh the IP addresses and get the random IP at any given time. If you do something funny in this net lab, you are messing around, you're goofing around, and the public IP gets exposed somehow, you go through your tunnel and you get a new one. The one that was exposed is from the tunnel, no problem. And that's how I do it. So I feel very comfortable showing you guys because of that. So if you see a public IP and you think you're going to get into my house, you're not. All right, so thank you very much for joining tonight. I really appreciate everyone who joined. So here's a quick recap. This is the attack that we did. We were able to see the traffic that we generated here. And this is sort of, I would say, the highlight of our attack. When we executed the remote shell, we were able to see right here that Security Onion caught it, and we got root on our machine, which was not the easiest one today. So that was a very fun way to do things. Yes, I see that there's talk about Splunk. Yes, you can use Splunk free. I've used it before, and actually I use it for a class that I teach. Splunk free is really good if you want to learn Splunk, and a lot of companies use it. The reason why I use Security Onion here is I don't have any limitations on the amount of data that I can ingest. I can have this lab running for a long time, and you get to see the Elastic Stack. A lot of systems, a lot of companies out there use Elastic for one way or another for saving logs, doing stuff. So if you get yourself familiar with the Elastic querying languages and how to get data in there, it's another leg up that you have that will elevate you maybe from being an analyst to being an engineer. Because when you're doing mostly the engineering components, at least for us, you spend more time ingesting data and figuring out how to parse the data. This is where you're taking it further from just using systems that others use, deployed, to actually deploying systems by yourself, which is what we have here. And the good thing about Splunk and Kibana is that you see it says KQL here. That's Kibana querying language. There's a Splunk querying language too. If you know how to use Kibana, you know how to use Splunk. The querying languages are the same sort of idea on how you can search for things. So it's super simple to go about doing these things. Right, let me see if I'm missing something here. So if you decide to buy a server, this is what I would do. And this is a quick one. Get a Dell R720. Let's look at this server. Right away, we see that we have a... Oh, this will do this lab very well. This one is saying 64 gigs of RAM. That's what I recommend most people to get. But let's say you wanted something under 220. To be honest, I would encourage you to spend some time bidding than buying, right? Or if you see one that says buy now, don't spend too much time on these ones. I would go on something like this one. Most of my servers that I got for really cheap, I was able to get them. This one looks really good. No hard drive. I don't really mind putting hard drives by myself. I would come and spend some time bidding on this one. If you look at this one 4 days from now, it will probably have sold for under $300, and it has 128 gigs of RAM. That's a good deal, I think. Then you can get yourself hard drives for like $20 or something and put them in there, or get an external NAS and off you go. 128 gigs of RAM, that's what I have on mine, and it works wonders. So I encourage you to spend some time there. Very smart. That's it. That's a smart idea. 1U is really, really good. BT got an R710. And you learned something, right? If you are running an R710, you cannot run VMware 6.5 and above. You can only run VMware 6.5 and below, which is honestly the same. Another last thing that I wanted to share with you guys before I go is that I'm part of the VMware vExpert program, and I think a lot of you would qualify for this. So make sure to apply. It's coming, and I'll tell you why you should apply. Since you are here on my live stream and you stuck this long, I think you need to know about this. I've been a VMware vExpert for 4 years. That's how I've been able to maintain a channel and have free software, and also be able to contribute to the community. VMware appreciates people like me who make videos for free on the internet. So because of that, you can apply to be a vExpert if you produce free content. All you need to do is say, hey, I'm somebody who contributes to the community. Here is my content. They'll look at it. If they like it, they'll give you free licenses for all VMware products. I have access to all VMware products for free because I make these YouTube videos. So if you are someone with a blog post, if you speak on public events or something like that, go through the evangelist sort of program. They'll give you free licenses. In addition to that, it's not just VMware licenses. There's other benefits as well that you can get for being a V expert. And I think you can see here. Did this person list? Yes, here. You also get all these softwares for free. A bunch of companies will give you their software for free for being a V expert. It's like the Microsoft MVP program. So anyone who is watching this, who has a blog, a YouTube channel, who gives to the community somehow, that's a good way. Oh, and by the way, before my employer gave me Pluralsight, you get free Pluralsight for free. You do not want to miss this. Pluralsight is the best platform for learning. You definitely want to get this one. So I've used Pluralsight. I don't use it anymore because I get it through work. I also got Ravelo for free, but it's not listed here. You get all this. You even get Vim for free. So yeah, try it. Someone says you can upgrade the chipset and it will allow you to install. Yeah, I have a R710 that I tried to install 7 and it failed on me. I need to upgrade my chipset, and the DRAC, the iDRAC that it's using is also old. So I'm debating whether to just upgrade it or just put Proxmox on it and call it a day. I'm experimenting on whether to just use Proxmox, and mostly for the ability to manage Docker containers there. I just want to have a bunch of containers running in Proxmox, and I really like how they manage containers in Proxmox and how easily it integrates with that instead of using OpenStack. So I haven't decided yet. I'll see after my CEH when I come back to rebuilding the lab if there's something that we can do that. All right, so if you are a content creator, please consider the vExpert program. I'm going to apply again. This will be my 5th year being a vExpert, and it's just nice to know that they're willing to support my lab by giving me VMware licenses for free. And that's how I have this VMware Fusion, a VMware Workstation. I haven't tried OpenStack. I even played with vSAN and all that stuff. So try that stuff. It's really good for you. Where am I working now? I work as a cybersecurity engineer somewhere around here. You can look up on LinkedIn and everywhere. You'll be able to find out stuff. But yeah. Whoa, I switched to 3 times. John Collins, before I go, can you please let me know, people have been telling me about these HP, especially the DL360s. How much are they and how much energy do they consume? I'm very curious. DL360p. Are they a little pricey? The reason why I go with the Dell ones is because they're cheap. Oh, wait a second. Oh, this one is 8 gigs. How cheap is the memory for these things? Because if 429, you get 8 gigs. Let's see, RAM size. Let's put 32. 32 is doable. Oh, that is. Oh, these ones are cheaper too. I would go with this one too. Thank you for that one. Thank you for that one, John Collins. These ones are very cheap too. So if you wanted, you can pick one of these HPs. I better start suggesting this for people. The reason why I don't care about the hard drives is because, I mean, hard drives are cheap. Right now, I have 16 SSDs. If you want one, let me know. I have 16 SSDs that a friend of mine 2 weeks ago just said, "Hey, I saw you're doing this YouTube thing. Here are some SSDs. One of them is, I'm thinking about 4 of them are 800 gigs and stuff like that." Hard drives you can always buy for cheap. You can buy them for $40 or something. RAM and CPU is what you should be looking at, and this looks really good. 250, and this one even comes. This server right here would do your lab very well. 32 gigs of RAM, at least what we are doing for now. It will not scale in the future, but so for under $200, you should be able to get something like that. Nice. Ronnie. No, so this lab here is my VMware Fusion here. I use this one mostly for let's go back to it. I use that lab mostly for as a backup, just in case my my machines don't come up or something. So I use this one for backup. As you can see, it's pretty much stripped down. I have a backup security onion here. Say I'm doing a live stream and somehow something is wrong with my server. I can quickly bring up a machine here and do the demo. But mostly it's my Kali Linux host. I like to have my Kali here instead of running there. Yeah, that's what I use this one mostly for. What flash drives did you use for vSAN? Where are they? If you're asking, these are the ones that I'm booting from. The Data Traveler. These ones. I don't know if you can see this one correctly. Yeah, I boot all my ESXi from flash drives, and I'll tell you why. That has saved me a lot. When I used to have my ESXi running on directly on my drives, then one of the drives corrupted and all that stuff, and I spent so much time trying to recover stuff. Right now, if ESXi dies, I put another flash drive, point it to my data store, and off we go. So always boot from your flash drive. That's always going to be easy. So I just tried this weekend, but it failed with SanDisk drives. Yeah, this one is a Kingston one. I also use, at some point, I used this SanDisk on one server. This is I think you need to look at the V10. This is a V10 SanDisk one. It boots very well as well. I know vSAN is really finicky. If you don't give it the right stuff, it will not run. And I learned that when I was a system administrator. I wanted to implement vSAN at work so bad, and you have to give it the right stuff. Oh, nice. That's awesome. That's good to know. I need to check this one with mine. This week, not this week, but a week after, I'm going to show you guys how to add Grafana. A Grafana instance to our lab so that we can monitor power consumption from our whole lab. This is what Grafana looks like. I have a graph that shows power consumption where I calculate the power. All you need to do is just pull the power usage in watts, then calculate that with how much power costs in your local area. I know right here in Minnesota, power is super cheap during the winter. And my Dell R710 was pulling about $15 to $20 a month. I was adding $15 to $20 a month in power bills for me. That's how much one power R720 was pulling. But I was running it all the time. if you don't run your lab all the time, this lab will cost you $5 a month, because if you use the lab and power it off, I just like to keep my lab running because I don't want to go to my basement all the time. Nice. Let me see if I missed something here. All right, guys, so I'm just going to do a quick recap. If you have any question, please let me know in the comments, but I'm just going to do a quick recap for those who joined later, so they can decide if to watch or not. We did an attack on a machine called Torment. This is not an easy machine by any chance, but the gist of it is that there is an FTP that allows anonymous login. I'm just doing a quick summary here. And with anonymous login, we got in there and we got an SSH key. The SSH key required us to have a password, and we found that password from the IRC channel that was running. We needed to look up the default password for the IRC channel. And then once we found the default password for the IRC channel, we came back and we were able to SSH as another person. Then we did a sudo -L. We found out that we could reboot the machine. And after we could reboot the machine, we created a user for Apache. And then after we created a user in Apache, we also added a Apache reverse shell. And then we executed it and came back in as our user. And as you can see right here, this is what we did. And then we came and looked at our logs here. And so far today, we didn't generate a lot of noise in our security onion. Here are some of the logs that we looked at. Some of our SMB share shenanigans that we were doing, accessing it. Just a super fun lab for people who are interested in becoming security professionals, really. As an analyst, you need to know what you're looking at. And hopefully, the more we look at this stuff, the more you get familiar with it, the more you are going to be familiar with how the rules look like and also how to generate them. If you go to an interview, you can explain to them, hey, I've never worked in a SOC environment before, but over the past month, this is what I've been doing. And if you have been doing what we're doing here, I guarantee you, any manager who knows a little bit about stuff, and if you're applying for a security analyst job and you have been doing what we do here, and you sort of know your way around looking at alerts and what data looks like, if you know how to maybe read PCAP, we do this on this channel. If you know how to look at PCAP and just understand what's happening with PCAP, you'll be in a better shape than somebody who has never done something like this before. So that's why we do these labs. Make sure to join me all the time as we do this, and hopefully you're also following along and you can pick a thing or two that might help you in your life, in your career. So let me know how we're doing. Otherwise, thank you very much for joining. I'll see you guys next Sunday. This week I have the CEH training that I've been talking about, and because of that, I might make a video or not, but I have live training and I want to dedicate more of my time there and make sure that I absorb as much material that I did. But definitely next Sunday we'll be back with a live stream, and I'll be letting you guys know the training from EC Council and what it looks like. I'll definitely let you know. Yeah, so try to recreate this lab if you can, please. You thank yourself later. I'm telling you right now. That's how I've been able to present myself when I go to an interview. Hey, before I even worked in security, I'll say, I've never been in a SOC environment, but I can tell you I've practiced a lot of boxes, and this is what I have. And so far, this is our lab. So as part of our cleanup, before I go anywhere, I shut down the machines. And we are also going to be adding Ansible and automation to this lab. So stick around on this channel if you want to see that. Subscribe because this is going to be interesting. We're going to add a Git repo for version control. We add Ansible or Salt, maybe. I'm still torn between the two of those. I'll probably create a poll. Ansible or Salt? Which one? I'm leaning towards Ansible for now because I already have an Ansible box. What you have a Git repo, and then use drone for creating Docker containers automation. Once we do that, then we can automate creating applications here, because I think that's a very good skill to learn CI/CD, especially in this environment where we have the cloud environment. You need to know that. So that's the next version of this lab, where we automate creation of containers and our applications, and also add things for scanning this lab. Other than that, guys, Split says Ansible. Anyone else for Salt? Ansible it is. The OP says Ansible. What's up with people in Salt? Salt has a bunch of vulnerabilities that have been popping up lately. I was hoping to exploit those in our lab as well. Salt version 2 point something has a bunch of vulnerabilities that give people root access. Yeah, so I have an Ansible box here. I'm automating creation of a bunch of things. Mostly Ansible will be automating the creation of configuration files. If we want to monitor all these machines with Grafana and Telegraph, we can just deliver Telegraph using Ansible. That's what we're going to be using here. If you wanted to automate the creation of containers using CI/CD, we have a Git repo that does this. So this will be awesome. Join as Ansible. So far the consensus from the people who are responsible here is Ansible. We have one person who refuses. I like this one. I like this. I didn't realize we're getting into this one. I think you say you hate Ansible because of the playbooks. To be honest, Ansible is way cleaner to use than Salt. It's straightforward. And it's definitely way easier to use than Puppet. Puppet, oh my god, I tried to use Puppet one day. I lost. I still don't know how to use Puppet. I even looked back at it. Ansible made sense to me. Salt makes even more sense. But Ansible, I get where people do that. And if you show up in an interview and you have used Ansible and you can automate things using playbooks, that's a plus on your side, especially on the engineering side of things. If you wanted to be a security engineer, most engineers use Ansible, Puppet, Salt, Terraform to automate things in the cloud when you're deploying things. So these are technologies to know, and that's why this channel exists, so that we can practice hands-on, no BS, no talking. We're not sitting here gossiping all night, right? We're literally getting our hands dirty, making mistakes, making a fool of yourself in your lab. That's what we do, and that's the exciting part of this learning process. I'm having a tough time as well, but it seems to be everywhere. Oh yeah. So because of this feedback, we're going to go with Ansible. And my goal was to just do 3 videos on how to install Ansible, how to use Ansible. Then we can go ahead and deploy Grafana and all of our configurations to all these machines using Ansible with our playbooks. Then people not only learn from the 2 videos, but also deploy it, and we can see it working. That's our goal right here. Yeah. All right, guys. Thank you very much for joining. I really appreciate everybody who stuck around with me today. We're going to be having a lot of fun, and I will be seeing you guys through the week. Please subscribe and like my videos. It means a lot. Otherwise, thank you for joining. See you later.